Well, so far we've already seen a little bit of moisture start to roll into certain areas of the state. Of course, that's no exception for South Central, but it did dry out just a little bit more earlier, but we're going to see a little bit more rain starting to move on through, especially as we get closer to tomorrow. Now, I just wanted to show you how much rain we've gotten so far this month. It's pretty crazy. You see over here in Ketchikan, 9.27 inches by September 15th. Now, watch this jump of rain going all the way up to 14 inches of rain since yesterday. So it's pretty crazy to see just how much rain we've gotten in such a short amount of time. But statewide, of course, Southeast is leading the charts with that. But of course, in South Central, we're going to be adding to our total heading on into tomorrow. But Southeast is also going to be doing that. Now, looking at our weather headlines in our photo from Tracy Tried, the fall equinox is only 2 days away. Now we can already feel it outside. The air is more crisp. Those fall leaves are falling, and it's great. So I'm really excited for that time of year to come. But with the fall equinox coming, it's the wettest season, and wetter conditions are moving into South Central. So it's going to stay rainy. It's rainy season. We got to get used to that. But rain is continuing in the Southeast, but not nearly as much as what we've been seeing lately. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not going to be as bad as it has been, but that's still continuing. Now, the whole reason why we're seeing this is because of this atmospheric river that's just pretty much, it's been camping out over Southeast for a while now. This atmospheric river is hanging out in the southern portion of the Panhandle. That's why Ketchikan's been getting so much rain. But of course, you're not going to see as much rain heading up into the northern portion of the Panhandle just as you get closer to Ketchikan. But this low pressure system right here is the whole reason why we're going to be seeing more rain moving up into South Central for tomorrow. But the higher up north you get through South Central, the less rain you're going to see. So just keep that in mind and don't get dizzy here as we start to jump across the state. But you're going to see lots more moisture rolling on into just this southern portion of the state in general, spanning all the way across from Southeast, moving all the way into South Central. And you're also noticing a little bit of purple marks. That's going to be some snow in higher elevation regions. So as we get into the interior, you're going to start to see just a little bit of snow, but don't get excited. It's only mostly for the higher elevation regions. But heading on through the work week, there is a chance you're going to see a little bit of mixed precipitation falling by Tuesday. So that's going to be a little bit of sleet and also maybe a little bit of snow as well. But we're mostly seeing more of that moisture starting to roll on through. You're seeing even these rain totals being collected all the way up into Fairbanks, and that includes what we're going to be seeing, you know, up in those higher elevation regions, some of that snow starting to come on through. Those temperatures are cooling down, so you're going to get close to your first freeze. Now, we're going to get about ½ an inch in South Central moving on through tomorrow night and going into Monday. But of course, Southeast is already seeing a little bit more of that. But we do have a flood watch, but that's going to expire later on tonight. So it's not going to last for very long. But of course, it is important to keep in mind, especially with how much really happens. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention is because of technical difficulties, I can't give you your regional forecast for Southeast. So just keep this in mind. You're going to be pretty much in the mid to high 50s. But then looking at some other regions like the interior, we're going to be seeing those temperatures in the 50s and cooling down into the 40s even. But some of those low temperatures are getting into the 30s. So we're getting closer to that first freeze for the interior. And the North Slope is going to be seeing those temperatures in the 30s, getting closer to that first freeze high that we're going to be seeing. So it should be interesting, but mostly cloudy skies. Moving into western Alaska, we're seeing those mostly cloudy skies as well. Temperatures staying closer to the 40s and the mid 40s, and the Aleutians staying windy as usual over in St. Paul. And then we're seeing those temperatures relatively normal with some more rain coming on the way for the Aleutians. But in South Central, pretty much seeing rain across the region. Temperatures in the mid 50s pretty much everywhere. So we're going to see more of that rain moving on through, but the highest amount of rain is going to be coming into the Copper River Basin. So if you're in this area, you're going to get some heavy rain moving on into tomorrow, but then less rain heading up into the Mat-Su Valley, and then we're going to see a little bit more rain here in Anchorage. So we're going to be seeing those temperatures in the mid 50s, and then moving on through the week, we're just going to continue to see just a little bit more of that rain moving on through, and Fairbanks is also going to see some more cloudy conditions on the way, but temperatures are getting much cooler, Michaela.